Cool. All right. Yay! We made it to episode 10 of Masks Heroes Abound. I'm so happy. Make a good episode. But yeah, so let's start out with doing our intro real quick, just because we have it. Here we go. Yay!
Big.
All right. This is episode 10. We'll follow up the opening with the intros again. Over here, we have Steve playing his Wraith Legacy. He's overjoyed to be here. Don't let the expression on his face fool you. That's better. He's faking it. We have Billy Joe as Leech the Reformed,
Here
who
I
has
am.
who has officially reformed.
That's right.
We have Josh playing as Mali the Nova, also overjoyed to be here. And Adam, last but not least, is Nyx the Scion.
Hello.
Excellent. So I figured we would jump into it. I want to see if we have a little space at the end, just to do epilogues and stuff like that. So basically, after when we last left our heroes, they basically made this statement on TV, on the news, pardon me, that all that was going down with Father Apollo, his strength, where he gets strength from, and his weakness, and this huge, Twitter storm started up. What's going on? Is this real? Can we believe them? They're just these teen heroes, etc., etc. The violent vanguard. Pardon me. But there's definitely like people who believe the whole thing, and they, Father Apollo's been around for a while, but this has never been made public. The idea that he does get a part of his power from worshippers, followers, hence the cult, etc. Yeah. So basically, right after that, Father Apollo himself issued a city ultimatum. Basically, the Violet Vanguard was going to meet with him. And strangely, he's chosen the what do you call it, the landfill where you guys do your practicing. And basically, he's put all the cards on the table. He's there to face you guys. He can't walk away from this insult that you've given him. There will be a psychic barrier around the area that only you four can actually enter. And that he invites media of all shapes, sizes, and flavors to be there, outside, of course. And basically, for you guys not to show is, Hell on Earth starts in Halcyon City, brought to you by Father Apollo. So there's this. Unless you guys tell me different, it's like the plan is to meet him. What do you guys think after he issues his ultimatum? What are your thoughts? We can do a scene at the Froyo Pinkberry place you guys use as your hideout.
Do I find that out before or after I went home and my sister was developing Dark Force powers?
That would be after.
Okay.
And they were brief. Basically, it was enough for you. Basically, you walked in, you saw the Dark Force around her, and then it kind of lifted her off the ground and then kind of dropped her. And she felt a bit queasy, needed some sack time. But that's kind of where you've left things. And then you probably separately on TV saw the response.
Right.
Um,
I think it would be good for us to meet.
do you think recruiting more people in the Violet Vanguard's an option? We didn't specify us four, just the Violet Vanguard.
That would be clever.
Did he specify us four?
Well, he did state that only you four would be able to penetrate the psychic barrier that he's putting up.
Mm.
So that doesn't mean you can't recruit others, but they just won't be able to quite go there.
Okay.
I'm assuming, are you guys going to meet at the Pinkberry?
I mean, you know,
Sure.
I'm okay with beating up either one of your families because so far they're just assholes.
It's true.
Yeah, meeting at the Pinkberry. would be-
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Molly has found a new level of just freedom right now after having just obliterated Hermes on a grand scale. All right, you say you guys are there. There's froyo, the froyo stuff that you put in there. Then you flavor it. That's all stocked and ready for some pinkberry, as much as you want. It's all there for you. Strangely, by the way, the
Still like
pinkberry
this.
mix chart costs all of 20 cents for like 2 gallons. So don't know why they cost $10, but whatever. Anyway, continue, please.
I'm just wondering who's refilling the machine.
It's
Mysterious
magic.
benefactor.
Yeah, we find out we have a maid this entire time.
Damn! Why did we not put some time into working that out before? Didn't we? All right.
She still thinks she works at Pinkberry, so she keeps coming back to this one because it's the last place she worked at.
And now it's all abandoned in your hideout, and she's just like, oh, I don't want to bother them.
She's been there for every meeting we've ever had, too. We just never noticed her. She is the 5th Violent Vanguard member.
That counts as something to keep you in, froyo. That counts.
She's
Where I
the
come
faceless old woman who silently lives in your home.
Nice. All right. What do you guys do?
Strategize?
Yeah. So the challenge is for the next evening. And being that this is a pretty big event, even for Halcyon City, school has been canceled for the next day. Just in case.
I was gonna say, they don't even cancel for like football games alone.
Well, Halcyon City has its
Just
protocols.
another superhero showdown.
Yeah, this one seems bigger. They haven't put the evacuation protocols in place or anything like that. But yes, school has been called off.
I wonder what he's playing at by choosing the landfill as a venue. It seems like on its face, it seems like that would advantage us, but I don't think he would do that. He must have some ulterior motive for choosing the landfill. Nix, does your family have any sort of caches there or anything? Any connection to the landfill?
I peruse my memory banks.
Gotcha. I would say no. No caches specifically in that area, no.
I believe there were caches at one time, but since the supers have started using it as a training facility, they have moved them out.
Wise.
Do you think he
Wise
would
villains.
face us alone?
Oh, definitely. He probably has people with them, but they wouldn't interfere. He would lose too much dignity and self-respect if he had somebody help him. The whole idea is he's superior to us and he wants to show it. But more than likely, there will be others there.
I mean, I remember the last time where he just teleported all of us out. Obviously, if he has the barrier up, he's not going to be able to do that. But I mean, what else is he capable of?
Think of my powers just on a larger scale.
I mean, can he snap us away like Thanos?
Who's Thanos?
It was a children's book.
I need to go back and bleep that out of the thing. Beep, beep, beep. No
Spoiler
copyright
alert.
infringement.
Spoiler alert.
I don't again, I don't think he would. The whole point of this is he's going to try and show us that he is better than us, and he's going to try and beat us. He's not going to use anything to simply kill everybody outright or teleport them into like the sun. But I think the idea is he wants to show that anybody else who tries to bring any sort of uprising against him, he's going to try and quell it immediately. And this is the first showing of it. He's fairly upset. I don't think I've ever seen him this mad.
That we could use that against him, play on his emotions, and make him distracted.
Possibly. Again, I don't think I've ever seen him this mad, so he may not be used to it.
Bridger?
I seriously doubt an all-out attack is going to be effective. And he's probably going to think that we're going to be using portals like from Wraith to move around, simply because he's dealt with he's dealt with them more often, more frequently.
I mean,
So
we can use that. I mean, there's nothing saying I just can't send shadows through the portals.
Oh, I'm just trying to think of how he's going to think we're going to fight. So
yeah, he does have a history with the with Wraith's legacy.
With the Legion of the Night, so
yeah, definitely
he would assume that he would be ready for it. But I agree, we can use it to distract him if nothing else. He's gonna think that we're dumb. We're beneath him. He's going to try and play with us. He's definitely going to try and preach, using this as an opportunity to get more followers.
So, that's a good point. He's invited that's another aspect of this that we almost overlooked. He's invited all the media, so he's going to try to use this as much to his advantage as we are to ours.
I agree. He's going to try and get as much followers behind him as he can, but we need to try to do the same. So it's going to be a double-edged sword where it might hurt us or it might help us.
Now, before you guys go too much further, I just want to kind of put out there, we don't want to be, take an entire hour or whatever planning this. It's not worth our time. There's a couple scenes I do want to get in before we do the big bad. Is Wraith still planning to come out to his family as a superhero?
Yeah, because he needs to make sure his sister gets training, and there's a conceivable chance I won't be quite available the next few days.
Till forever.
Months,
yeah.
Years, whatever.
Another one that I had in mind, and again, you guys please feel free to throw out any scenes, but my thoughts here are do that. Grandma and the aunties, knowing what they know, are basically going to have a feast as they usually do every night. But this time, they've invited some other people. They've invited Nix's family, his foster parents, and that kind of thing. And if they basically, and there's been some communication there, with the social worker Anne, and them, and Nix's family. So they're all kind of in on it, if you will. So there's that, and then I'm not sure if we want to go straight to the big bad from there. If you guys had some other scenes we want to, this is our last session of this campaign. So if there's anything we've missed that you guys want to get in before we go there, this is the time. Please feel free to pop it out there.
I mean, not as a scene, but the only other thing that I was going to have was have all of our super allies come with us, even though they can't directly affect the fight. They might be able to stop anybody else from interfering as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And be a rally on our side for the cameras.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's easy to. You can. In fact, Athena will probably work that for you.
Fair enough. That's all I had.
Cool. How about Mali? Is there anything specifically you wanted to pop in there as a scene?
Nothing I can think of that he's resolved.
Okay, excellent. And it looks like we're gonna spend some time with Grandma and the aunties, so there's stuff to work on there. How about Leech? Any scenes that we need to be doing for you prior to the big
That's
bad?
that's what I was just looking at. I don't think so. We pretty much resolved a lot of his outstanding story stuff last week.
Cool. So you guys want to head over to Wraiths?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, you guys are all in your civilian outfits, civilian gear. Kind of meeting, going as a group now from the Pinkberry to Wraith's place.
Oh shoot, I forgot there was an audience for this too. I mean, backup.
Yep. So
Backup, yeah, we got you.
yeah, so you guys pop onto the door. Wraith opens it up. Your mom is there. Wow, first appearance in the campaign. Mom is there, and of course arguing with Dad. Katie is nowhere to be seen at this point. She's probably in a room. When parents argue on those rare occasions they're in the same place at the same time.
I text her to come down.
All right. Yeah, she's hanging in there. She's recovered from her little incident. But yeah, your parents are. They kind of turn to you simultaneously. They're in this argument, like they're like in it. And what do you say? You walk in with your three buddies? All your sister comes down.
I think he sort of like musters up some courage and is like, I know you guys are busy, but can we talk?
Your mom does this. To your dad, she does this. And it's like almost a superpower. He has to stop. He stays motionless and says nothing because he's not dumb. And she
really
turns
with pants, doesn't she?
Yeah, she turns your guys' way, and she heard your voice, but she really didn't notice you even come in. She was so in this, and suddenly she's kind of like, you can see this momentary shock that perhaps only you would recognize in her eyes. Her eyes like flutter, where she was expecting to just talk to you, and suddenly there's three other witnesses. If you will.
Changes the tone, doesn't it?
Yes, a little bit. She kind of looks around, takes her pause. Cage, darling. Yeah, certainly. What do you need? Do you need some money for the Pinkberry?
No, full up. You know how we don't have school tomorrow?
Yeah, I saw the alert on the news. I mean, what's going on? It's not like, there's no evacuation in order, so the world isn't getting destroyed tomorrow, so that's great. Yeah, are you saying you want to go to the thing? Because I don't think so.
You see, my presence has been requested.
And she kind of looks over to you, like, are you guys like in stack behind him so that her gaze can't meet with you, or you like spread out in a phalanx type of thing? As she's looking towards you guys and lady, excuse me.
I think we would probably be just kind of off to the side in a little
pack.
Yeah.
And out of character, I assume I got permission to use your identities in this discussion.
I assume we're gonna.
I'm with these ones,
Yeah.
I also assumed we were gonna out ourselves on this one as well. Yeah.
Good. I'm like, Father Apollo's meeting the Violet Vanguard at the training facility.
Yes, Father Vanguard. Yes, thanks to Katie, I follow them on Twitter. But whatever. What?
She's done really good at that, hasn't she?
She kind of gives a kind of a weak, yes, that's me.
There's a reason she's been promoting them.
She kind of leads forward with that eyes like, and
I'm Wraith.
You're Wraith. So you like the Wraith guy? Yeah, he's interesting. I've seen him on little news clips. Okay, that's. Do you have to dress like him? Are we cosplaying now? Are you cosplaying over there? Because I'd rather you not go to that place. That's. I mean, Psychic Shieldler, no.
I mean,
Can-
no, really.
I'm gonna
Great.
I'm gonna like kind of do a and then look at Wraith and you want me to?
Like, no, I'm good. And I just like put on my arms and like the shadow just starts flowing.
Nice. What does it look like? I mean, what is it?
So or around me, but also like like just like tendrils reaching out and like forming shapes around me.
Nice. Yeah, your dad has been silent this whole time since he got the finger, and now he's still silent. He has that look on his face like he wants to talk, but the words aren't being formed in the brain.
Been with the Violet Vanguard for the last several months. Received training from the Legion of the Night, Night Stalker, Captain Midnight.
And yeah, so she's like, it's starting to register. The stuff's filtering in. This is undeniable in front of her. You can't. This is not. Her first thought, am I on drugs? Am I tripping? Am I going insane? Is this real? And this happens in a matter of milliseconds to the rest of us. And she just like focuses. She looks to the other three, and now 2 and 2 is 3 and 1 is coming together, making 4, or a vanguard, if you will. And she's just like, is this because I wasn't around?
It wasn't because you weren't around. It's nothing you did, although I'm starting to think there's something genetic that you guys did contribute because, well,
I don't know what that means.
More on that later.
She's like, could you just try not being a superhero?
I mean, I'm sure I could, but we have important things to do. And I sort of look, to the team, like, we have to defeat Father Apollo tomorrow.
She's like, you're just a kid. This is Father Apollo. Even I know who that is. I don't keep track of all the heroes in the city, but the villains, but even I know that name, and that name scares me. And I can't let you go.
And unfortunately, you can't stop me.
You see that look, like you've just challenged her. So and by the way, she is shifting your labels.
Yeah, I'm totally.
She is shifting your danger down and your mundane up.
I think I want to reject that influence.
Yeah, she has influence over you as an adult.
Oh yeah,
default.
totally. Adult.
If you want to go with that or reject it, that's up to you.
I'm gonna totally reject it because she's gonna totally mundane me.
She's gonna totally mundane me. That's a verb now.
It's a verb.
All right, so
it's a straight roll, isn't it?
Let's see. Yep, just a straight roll.
Where is the straight roll button?
Flat 2d6.
Oh yeah, roll 2d6. Whatever.
Nice.
Holy cajolies! All right.
Let's see, when I reject someone's influence.
Yeah, on a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 10 plus, choose 2.
I'm going to shift one label up and one label down.
All right, what is that?
I'm shifting up Savior and down Mundane. Because, dang it, we are going to stop Father Apollo.
And your second?
I can't have her interfering, so I'm going to cancel her influence over.
Ooh, you just canceled you. Yeah, you just canceled your mom's influence over you. You no longer care what she thinks about you.
Don't understand. we are responsible, and we need to take down Father Apollo, or else he's going to commit horrible atrocities across the city.
And she's just stunned. This is a conversation,
And I
on any level that she never thought she'd have with you of all people. You're the responsible one. Ish.
And more importantly, we are going to stop them.
And she's just silent at this point. She's like in shock. This is not real.
Like, on top of that, Captain Midnight should be showing up shortly.
And your dad goes, "What?"
When I said that you had something to contribute, I'm pretty sure that's true because Katie's showing signs of getting the same powers.
Your mom is she is
Captain.
on the verge of faint right now. Your
I
mom is
imagine
now
Katie's coming
overwhelmed.
down
We've
the
hit that
stairs
level.
about then.
Yeah, Katie's like,
Like-
"What are you talking? What? Katie's all confused now.
Like, Captain Midnight's gonna show you the basics. I'm not gonna be able to be around for, well, most of tomorrow, so I want to make
And
sure you don't.
Katie's like, she
Nothing's
actually
out of
stands up.
control.
Yeah, she stands up and she's looking at all four of you guys. She's like, "That's not how this works. Even I followed the Legion of the Night. She's like, it's random. And the way that it works is the last person in the legacy teaches the next one. That's
Like-
you, bro."
Like, you better plan on not getting any sleep for tonight then.
No. You're going to train me. But you're going to do it the day after tomorrow. She has that look on her face like this conversation is sister over. And she turns on her heel and marches upstairs. And your mom is now set. She's down and just kind of looking, getting that kind of lost look where you don't even, your eyes aren't even focusing on anything. You're not looking at anything. She needs some Valium or something. And like your dad's like, "I'm proud of you, son." And he's like, "I know that you've never seen this, and perhaps this is a completely inappropriate time, but I've always been a fan." And he kind of he turns around and he pulls down his one side of his shorts, and there's like on his hip the Legion of Night tattoo, like badly done, like some 17-year-old with a needle and some writing ink popping it on there,
Like,
many years ago.
like, were you in prison?
Like, funny, son, but no. And though it's like you can tell he's also feeling a bit empowered that your mom is not talking, and he is able to. He's like, "I'm proud of you, and I know we can't stop you. I'm afraid for you, but that's the way Halcyon City works, isn't it?"
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little afraid for us too. But we've improved a lot over the last couple months. We've been able to fight as a team effectively.
Yeah.
And I think we have a chance.
Like your dad turns to the other gaggle of you in the corner, and they're like, I just need to hear something from each of you. What do you, before I can be right with this, he's like, "Tell me what you think of my son as a hero. Is he what you need him to be?"
Leech kind of looks to the other two and steps forward first and says, your son is the reason that I'm here. He's actually been my inspiration. I used to be on the other side of the coin, and I spent a few years in juvie. And when I got out, Cage is the one who kind of took me under his wing in the Violet Vanguard and pointed me in the right direction.
Excellent. That's definitely a support. If you wanna, do you want to support him?
Sure.
Definitely triggered. So let's go comfort support. So roll plus mundane. Leech.
Not so bad.
You can tell that he's like, he's just a little apprehensive. He's like, now you get him thinking, well, do they depend too much on him? What if something happens? You can see this mental conversation he's having with himself. Like you like parents, you want the best, expect the worst sometimes, and yeah, you can just see it's going through his head. So
All right. So
Leech's words were heartfelt, but he's just like, he kind of pushed him in the wrong direction, like
right. So
yeah.
I step back and then I nudge Molly, like, say something. Say something.
Your son has become a really good friend. He has helped me through a lot. We wouldn't be the Vanguard without him. If you need to talk to someone who would be able to help you deal with this, I can direct you in the direction of my grandmother.
Like, everybody should have a grandmother. He's like, all right, you go ahead and roll mundane also for comforting support. Like,
sorry, Rafe.
Yeah. So he's like,
Glad you're here to back me up.
He's like,
I'm unconvincing.
He's like, I'm gonna need that number for your grandma.
I'll step up and I'll say, well, he said he wanted to hear from all of us. So.
I don't know. Go. You're good.
I don't know if you know this, but Father Apollo is my father. And
Mom like peeks up at that one. She's like, oh. Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't go into battle with him without everybody here. Wraith especially. He's a point of reference for all of us. He's like kind of the way that we are leading towards our objective. I'm kind of like Leech. I'm on the other side of the tracks for a while too, and without everybody here, Wraith especially, then none of this right now would be happening. We wouldn't even have a chance to stop Father Apollo, let alone be here with our own free will. So he is the one person that all of us here would probably want to take into battle.
Cool. All right, roll your plus mundane, comfort and support. Let's go. Let's not go for the hat trick, but whatever.
We are not a mundane group.
You said that word. Oh, what? Oh, wait. Well, we have a
team.
You have one team. Would you like to use it?
Yes.
Might as well.
All right. How are you gonna support your team? How are you gonna do that?
I think we should all change into our uniforms.
Oh, and just show the front
to actual show, to show like that we're a united front.
Okay. Cool. Question, because first time it's happened to me. Do I still mark that as potential?
Yes.
Potential Worthy move.
Yep. Yeah, you rolled a 6, so that's mark your potential.
I haven't had to do this very often, so I'm out of practice.
Funny. Yes, and of course all the rest of you remember mark potential also. Cool. So yeah, you guys all change in your outfits simultaneously.
Well, I mean, we have to wait for Wraith. That's the only thing he does not succeed in or exceed everybody else in.
But I can just, put myself in shadow, so I don't need the outfit per se.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, you guys do your thing, and do you feel confident and supported, Wraith?
I do.
All right. So you hear them. You hear Nyx. You didn't hear the other guys at all. They're like, ooh, nothing. So on hit they hear you. So you can mark potential, clear condition, or shift your labels. Wraith.
I am going to shift Savior up 1 and shift Superior down 1. Because I'm not any more superior than the rest of these fine folk.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, the mom and dad stand up. Now they're they do that. They're right next to each other with their arms around each other. They're like, your mom kind of comes back to reality after that. Kind of seeing you all. That's a powerful moment. There's this. Again, these are. It's not every day you have even in Halcyon City that you have a superhero in your like kitchen area. Much less 4 of them. Much less 4 who are about to go up against a huge villain.
It's usually as the hero goes through the kitchen, through the
Exactly. But yeah, there's just like you can see that their hearts skip a beat. The kind of the intake of breath as you guys do your thing. And mom comes and she puts her arms around Wraith and she kind of beckons the rest of you to come for a big group hug.
Oh, big group hug.
Big group hug. And she's
Wait
like,
until later when she remembers everything that the Violet Vanguard has been doing in the news and everything that her son has been doing.
We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
She'll put that together once we leave.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, the last thing she says is, "You all come back to me." And she like lets you guys go.
We will. We
Right.
can do this.
All right. So if it's cool, we're gonna jump to the next night. Next afternoon, whatever. Leading up to the confrontation. It's early dinner at Grandma's. I'm thinking Race family's gonna be there. He's definitely called Grandma after this whole thing. Everybody needs a freaking grandma. They need that grandma after this. Of course, Nyx's foster parents are going to be there, and of course, Molly lives there. So it's a big party. It's actually almost indistinguishable from the one you guys were at before, and the one that Molly's known most of his life, where it's this communal cooking, communal taking care, communal eating. Meals are brought to people who can't make it. Everybody contributes. Somebody's washing stuff while others are cooking. Others are transporting. Getting drinks for people. And so yeah, this is all going on, and it's a party. And only a select few know why this is anything special. Your various parent figures, etc.
They're the ones sitting over there in the corner crying.
Yeah, it's hard to miss. But between bouts of insane tears, Grandma and the aunties actually come up to Leech, and it's like this circle of grandmotherly love around you. It's actually kind of weird. You're probably like looking for an escape route or something at first. But Grandma, she kind of puts a hand on your chest, and he's like, "So I got a visit from Anne, the one that your caseworker."
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that you graduated, you got out of that halfway house. Is that right?
Yep. I just need to find an apartment.
And Auntie number 1 steps forward, and she's like, "My son just left for college, and we were wondering if you'd like to stay here."
He thinks about it for a minute, kind of glances at Molly over across the room and looks back at Auntie and yes, thank you.
Yeah, they all these beaming smiles, and Auntie's like, "Oh, you're gonna like it so much. I'll even let you repaint the walls."
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of give you that one moment, and kind of I'll kind of pat you on the head, on the shoulder, like you were just a little kid, like you were a 7-year-old coming up to them for permission to do something or whatever. Oh, go on your way, you know. And yeah, they go back to their little tear circle in the corner, kind of out of worry, and then as the night goes on, they kind of firm up. They're good. Your Wraith, your parents are mixing with the people. They actually, and one of the aunties actually ambushes them at the door. Kind of drags them in. They're kind of like, this is not a uh this is not a Terabus dinner we're seeing here by any stretch. So this is, as far as they're concerned, this is a whole new world of wonder. So yeah, they drag them both in. Your mom finds her place. She's like, oh, I hope that, goes to the kitchen, and grandma actually blocks her. And you kind of see her skedaddle her over to the dishes, and she brings her dad in to do the cooking, help with the cooking. And it's like, you can see some kind of weird grandma lesson going on here. Like, learn something new. Don't always play to your strengths. La 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 la. Et cetera, et cetera. Nix, your foster family comes in, your parents. They're kind of, they're not really bothered by this whole thing. They're more amused. Again, this is not your average family, it's a home. This is like a apartment complex get together, for crying out loud. Yeah, you see them kind of smile as they walk in, and they, wave. They kind of catch your eye, but they realize this is kind of a, your thing. So they're not going to be those, parents,
Yeah,
which is
I
an
immediately,
oddity and a rarity.
I immediately go for the food.
Yep. There's lots of it. You name it, they just made it. Crazy talk. But there's much revelry. This is like, the night before or the night the warriors go into battle, basically, and they're not gonna go there hungry. You're not gonna go there dehydrated, hungry, or wanting for any kind of affection, probably, because somebody here is gonna smother you with love, like it or not. But yeah. So, do you guys want to do anything here? Is there a scene you guys want to have amongst each other, or should we jump straight into Delio? I'm saying Delio again. God damn it! I really have to stop.
I'm good with going on.
I am too. Nothing's coming to mind.
I can't think of anything either. I mean,
Cool. Wraith is eating, I think.
Happily.
All right. So we'll change the scene. You guys kind of all make your way into the dump, that area. And as you're kind of coming up on it, you do see this psychic barrier, this dome of like there's just a slight amount of distortion in it, and every now and then, like something like lightning will play across the surface of it, of the skin of it, and kind of zip here, zip there. But you can see, there's the figure. You actually see Apollo, Father Apollo, on the far side. On his side of the dome, you see, a lot of your relatives, Nyx. Even at this distance, they're easy to make out. They wear distinctive outfits, etc. What does I don't think we've ever actually discussed it. What do the cultists wear?
the cultists would wear a like bland robe, almost kind of like a tunic style. So with just like a poncho.
Okay.
that goes over the top of it. It would be a sunburst in the middle. The robe would be basically white, and the sunburst would be just a starting off as a white and then spreading out into yellows and then oranges and reds.
Gotcha. Like the sun.
Like the sun.
Excellent. All right. So you see a decently large group of them also over there. Interestingly enough, you see Nix, you see a piece of tech that you haven't seen in a while. There's this like, in kind of winning hearts and minds. Even Father Apollo, with his cachets and whatnot, knows that technology is an important facet of this whole thing. There's like this big, huge media module. Basically, it's like it would be launched. It's the size of like a rocket, and splits off, and then it basically would have landed straight, like off to the side in the center of this, almost like a huge billboard or a scoreboard, if you will, but not. This is for media. This is for showing people what he wants them to see, type of thing. And right now, as you see the big screen, it's like all the various media outlets, going back and forth, showing you actually see like a shot from a helicopter overhead, like right now, looking down on this whole thing. Yeah.
I was going to say, Leech kind of looks around at everybody and says, I think one of the first things we need to do is either destroy or take control of that media display. That's not good if he has control of that. That means he controls the narrative.
I was agreeing to it as well. Yeah, definitely gotta probably destroy it. But I don't. Destroying it's probably gonna be the easiest thing to do.
I was gonna say I can certainly black it out, but I assume he's prepared for that.
Is he prepared for melting it?
Probably not.
Steve, are you having trouble with your camera, or is it just off because you're eating, etc.?
I can see him.
Oh, I'm like getting a.
I'll bounce it.
Yeah, bounce it. Oh, there we go. You're back.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So yeah, there is already there's a group. Wraith, you specifically, you've been kind of probably keeping track of social media thing on the way, and Katie is going strong. She's taking it to an 11, and people are, this is actually trending in Halcyon City right now, big time, and probably outside of it. This is not a small tete we're looking at here. Yeah, people are starting to gather. You guys see like, a couple buses of people that have bussed in, but right now it's kind of thin. This is the score. The tally is not looking fantastic on the side of the Valley of Vanguard at this time, basically. All right, so you're at the border of the psychic barrier. What do you do?
We all ready? Just another villain.
Just another villain.
That's awesome. Well, let's do team, since you guys are about to confront a foe. Let's see here. You're about to enter battle against a dangerous foe.
Understatement.
Yes. All right. So right now you have 0 team. Who's the leader?
I think in this case it would be Nyx.
That's what I was thinking too.
Unfortunately, me too.
All right. Okay, Nyx is leader.
Can't escape your obligations.
Yeah, just can't. Freaking family. You don't get to choose them. All right. So does the leader have influence over every teammate?
Yes.
Okay, it's 1. Everyone has the same purpose, I'm assuming?
Yep. I do anyway.
No, I do.
Yep.
I believe Wraith would have even mentioned something to Molly on the way of, yes, when I say kick butt, we do mean kick butt this time.
Oh, I would have said.
It's a 10.
I'm sure I would have said as well. If we have a chance to kill him, we need to take it. I mean, nobody should stop at that point.
Cool. All right. So everybody has the same purpose theoretically. We'll call it stopping him is what we're looking for. Does anyone mistrust the leader in light of
Not
him
I.
saying maybe murder the dude? Everybody's good.
Think so.
All right. So that's 3. You guys are absolutely not ill prepared or off balance. It doesn't get more ready to go than this. All right. So you guys have 3 team.
Marking it down, 3 team.
Let's see here. All right. So what do you do?
Shall we go in? Let's go in.
Yeah.
I think we spread out a little bit naturally, but
Well, yeah. I mean, kind of like do the whole thing where all 4 of us go in at the exact same time.
Yeah, it kind of feels a little chilly, kind of weird, prickly over your skin for a second as you pass through the barrier, but there is no resistance whatsoever. It's like walking through air otherwise.
What's the point of the barrier?
To keep everybody else out. What do you mean? Are you like bringing this up in character or out of character? I thought supposedly it's to keep everybody else out. Do you think that it might have an ulterior purpose?
I mean, he hasn't really cared about the people that have been around him before.
Point. Back of our heads on that one.
All right. So yeah, you guys make it inside, and you kind of, like you said, you kind of spread out a little bit, not too far, not too near, and kind of make your way in. Again, this is the size of a couple of football fields smushed together. You see Father Apollo on the other side. He's glowing, and like literally, not that figuratively glowing. He's actually glowing. His arms are crossed across his chest. He looks. You just get hit by this wave of wow, he's awesome. Wow, he's powerful. It's just something that kind of filters through. If there was, you had that cult of personality. He's like this force of personality.
All right. It's been a while since he's done that. It's annoying.
Annoying. Typical kid.
I'm going to yell out to him.
All right, yell out to him then.
Well, I am glad that you came here to surrender. We'll take you anytime.
Yeah, he kind of takes several steps forward. His arms drop to his side, and he laughs.
You are as insolent as the day I took you from my home, child. And you will pay for that insolence, all of you will.
And he takes a few more steps forward, gives each of you a stare. Again, this is at a distance. This is not close up, but you can still feel his gaze upon each of you in turn. And yeah, it's palpable.
I await your assault, young ones.
And he puts out his arms. Kind of like the whole "you get one free" type of deal.
Come at me, bro.
Is that a trap?
I'm curious about that as well. Why would he not just attack us?
But there's others there, right? Or is it just him?
It's just him. The others are outside of the bubble.
Okay.
What do you do?
What's around us? Pretty much all scrap.
Yeah. There's normal garbage. Things have been kind of neatened up, kind of ish. in anticipation of this, you can kind of tell there's whoever is in charge of this yard was thinking, okay, we don't want anybody to get hurt outside, but at the same time, we don't want to maybe take away tools for these kids to do what they need to do. I mean,
I was gonna say they wanted to present the dump in the best possible light.
Exactly.
Well, if I have a car near me, I'm gonna throw a car at him.
All right, excellent. Go ahead and directly engage or wield your powers. No, I'm sorry, that's not wield your powers. I'm off my screen. Yep, directly engage a threat.
Of course. This would be the time that I get all
So
my
much
misses.
potential.
I get all the misses on this one.
Yeah, so you throw the car, and he kind of one-hands it like a basketball, boosh, and you can hear the crunch as he kind of grabs onto it to like get a grip, and suddenly tosses it straight back at you, Nix.
Take a powerful blow.
Yeah, take a powerful blow. And if he is far more powerful than you, so yes, you can use you have your move, I believe.
Never give up, never surrender.
Yeah.
Roll plus savior. It's a hit.
Excellent. All right, let's see here. Just to read it, since we haven't used this a whole lot. Never give up, never surrender. When you take a powerful blow from someone far greater power than you, use this move instead of the basic move. Roll plus savior. On a hit, you stand strong and choose one. 7 to 9, a market condition. So market condition, what would you want to mark?
Angry.
Okay, cool. And which do you choose from the list there?
Let's see. You get an opportunity or opening against your attacker. You rally from the hit, inspire your team, add one for the pool. You keep your attacker's attention. I kind of want to keep his attention focused on me. I think he would normally have his attention focused on me anyway, but let's just maintain that.
Cool. All right, done. All right. Who else wants to?
I want to say that I batted away, and I'm like, is that all you got, old man? I see that gray. You're getting old.
Yeah, I can just I'm imagining the car comes at you, you kind of like boosh, and it goes straight over the heads of you guys. You can actually feel the wind off of it as it careens past, but nobody actually moves because you're totally yeah, of course it's gonna go straight over our heads. We're not worried. That type of stance going on. Who else wants to do anything? What do you do?
I'm going to do my signature move. Try draining his vitality.
All right, go ahead. This is directly engage. Roll plus danger. Wait. Oh no!
Oh yikes! And that's a bad miss. Hey, one more miss and I get another advance.
Do you have a little punch card? I should have probably made an image graphic for that. Oop, punched 10.
In a battle like this, don't forget, unlocking your moment of truth could be valuable.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
for
I
sure.
did with my last advance, was unlocking my moment of truth.
Mine's unlocked too.
Well, lucky me, because that last miss I got gave me my moment of truth.
Oh, how great!
All right. So let's handle this miss, and I'll address the other thing. So yes, Leech. So your tendrils rip out. There's this. Even you can kind of feel that. Yes, this force of hungry tendrils is really hungry today, and they really are looking forward to a nice juicy meal. A guy who emanates power and energy like this would just be like, surf and turf, filet mignon, and a giant crab, etc. And it goes out. It wants Father Apollo so freaking bad. You can almost you almost salivate along with it for a moment. The tendrils grab on and wrap around, and he doesn't even move. Your tendrils kind of wrap around. They start to glow along with him, and then you see his glow zips straight back to you, and take a powerful blow as you're kind of pushed backwards.
Sweet.
Or I would say pushed backwards. It's more like, explosively thrown backwards, if you will.
That sucks.
Full hit.
God damn it!
I lose control of my powers in a terrible way.
Oh my gosh. So your tendrils zip back to you, as they do. They don't. I think we established they never actually dissipate. They just kind of they're like an extension of you almost. As they kind of zip away, they do end up wrapping around Wraith a bit, as then they slap him and try to drain. So take a powerful blow, Wraith.
Damn it! Not again.
I don't think Leech is far more powerful than me, so I will just have to take a normal powerful blow.
Yeah, your standard.
Full hit.
Holy damn!
That's awesome.
Okay, this is the warm up for you see the heroes get beat down a little bit, and then ideally they get back up.
That's right. It's a good thing Molly's unlocked his moment of truth.
I am actually going to do 2 from the 7 to 9.
Okay.
I'm going to mark 2 conditions. I think I'm going to be a little bit angry because he's winning. And a little bit, let's see, afraid. Yeah, afraid because he's definitely as juicy as we expected. And then I'm gonna. Should I provoke a teammate to foolhardy action?
Sure.
I was going to say, if you want to lash out at me and take advantage of your influence over me to inflict a condition, that would be appropriate.
Okay. I think I will. I'm like, God damn it, Leech! Why does it always come back to me?
You guys actually hear that on the Jumbotron thing that he has up.
Oh snap!
Nice. So I think I'm going to give you guilty.
That's exactly as expected. Thank you.
All right. So awesome, excellent. So I just want to preface. So your moment of truth are hugely powerful, as we saw with Leech. You can take full control of the narrative. And I definitely want you to experience that. I just don't want to cut this too short. So I'm going to tell you for basically that until power shifts where he doesn't, where his, your follower levels are higher than his and aren't canceling him out, he is more or less invulnerable. But once stuff tips, that's when all bets are off and you guys are good to do whatever the heck you want to do. Obviously putting it out there. So you will not be able to inflict conditions on him right now, and a moment of truth would not be a good time right now. However, that's going to be changing momentarily. In fact, you guys actually hear over the Jumbotron, and again, it's like you're kind of one of your concerns was like, again, who's going to control the narrative. It seems like it's kind of just taking in whatever is out there and available, and all of a sudden, and this will shock Miley the most, you actually see Granny and the aunties on there, and on the Jumbotron, and they're standing like at the edge of your side of the thing, and you're like, "What? Did we ever actually give Grandma a name? I don't think. Do we give Grandma a name? I don't recall. Or she's Grandma.
Marie Noble.
Marie Noble. All right. And it's like there's a like a news crew who are facilitating this right there. They're like the guy has a microphone out to Grandma, and she's like, "My name is Marie, and I'm here to tell you, Father Apollo, that you may have faced a bunch of heroes from this city. You may have faced powerful people, but you've never faced something as noble as this group before, and you're not going to win." And And the aunties just do the yeah. And it kind of goes the guy on the camera screen. He kind of pans out, and you see there were like 3 buses. There's now a crowd. There are like you can see other news crews out there. It's starting to look like people are gathering. So the thing is coming. You see what the heck was his name? Green Falcon.
Green Falcon. Yes.
Green Falcon. And you see actually Nix, you see a bunch of people that you recognize. In fact, Athena is out there. She gets panned over. And as usual, she's just kind of like another civilian in the crowd. Just like, oh, just another, anonymous face. But the crowd is starting to grow. So I'm gonna have you guys, just so because I don't wanna rob you of your time here. Let's do a new move. I'm gonna let you choose which label you're gonna use, but basically the idea is to bring people over to your side. How are you going to kind of bring them over? What's your message? You have some time here. Father Apollo is not advancing. When he sees the stuff in his jumbotron, you can see Nick's only this tightest crack of insecurity because it's bothering him because things are getting equal right now. But if you guys want to, do make an attack, whatever. But I'd like you to basically we're going to call this like a build support move. So you choose your label depending on what it is you're going to be doing to do that. But I kind of want to make this different and special since this is, this is the big bad here.
Okay. Is each of us gonna do it?
Yes, each of you gets this. Yes.
Okay.
So again, just tell me what you're doing. It's just again, whatever. Even if you're like, if you do it as an attack, he's right now he's invulnerable. But what you can do is bring people over to your side, and that's what the role will help determine.
Okay.
Does that make sense to all you guys? I'm just kind of it's kind of weird switch up, but I figure this requires a custom move right here.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, so kind of think of what your move is, what you want to, how you want to bring this support over to your side. Attacking him, showing that you're powerful, showing a display of your power, saying something that gets picked up by the Jumbotron with this move it would. So what do you do?
On the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Powered by the Apocalypse Games.
Hold on, I'm just looking over some stuff.
Yeah, please do. Like I said, I didn't mean to kind of push this on you guys. I want to make this as exciting and as interesting as possible, and still give you the chance to use all your moment of truth, etc. No pressure.
I think I'd probably use Savior on mine.
Okay.
And I'd go and help Wraith back up and steady everybody else. And the whole time talking to him, I was like, do you see that? Do you see that, Father Apollo? Do you see that, Daddy? People don't like you. They don't want you. The only reason anybody ever follows you is because you force it upon them.
Oh, damn. Go ahead and roll it with your Savior.
Hit.
Nice. All right. Yeah, so you can only Nyx can really see this. Nyx being the only one that like knows Father Apollo for real. There's that little that just crack of irritation and uncertainty. but it's getting bigger, that crack. On the Jumbotron, it kind of splays out. There are, like, right now there's, like, again, school buses worth of people coming now. You see like a banner from your school is out there, like, kick Apollo ass. And it's like, what is the mascot of your school again?
I wrote it down. Hold on. It's Silver Sentinel High.
Yeah, so you see the cartoonized version of Silver Sentinel on either side of the banner, kick Apollo ass. It's done up, and it was obviously just made like, an hour ago with the few spray paint cans and on the bus, yeah. Yeah, a lot of huffing, unfortunately. Just secondhand huff, if you will. And but yeah, so you definitely see this banner out there in this thing. So who's making the next move?
I think I do, but I think I want to. Can I use my savior as? See, I also have a move called Symbol of Authority.
Mm-hmm.
Which sort of applies in this case too.
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you want to do that in lieu, it'll transfer over, if you will. Well, yeah. Let's take a look. Not sure. Yeah, Symbol of Authority. So, when you get an NPC in order based on the authority they recognize. Now, the question is, does he recognize the authority of the Legion of Darkness over him?
Yeah, Legion of Night.
Legion of Night, rather. Sorry.
That I guess that would be questionable.
Yeah, I'm going to say at this moment he does not.
Okay.
You can use it to the people watching, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true because they could.
Yeah. Let's go. You know what? Let's do that. Yeah, let's call that. Yeah, roll savior, and we'll call it your. This is you speaking out to the NPCs, which are the crowd, the world.
Yeah, so I think what I want to say. Like everyone in Halcyon City, especially those who don't have the powers of the superheroes, can still help us fight Father Apollo. By supporting us, you are defeating him.
Cool.
Make a roll. So I do the, raise your hands. Let's make some noise.
Please don't do the chop or the wave. Just don't. Okay,
No
I will dock you points for that. That you will take a condition for that
one. Especially after the Granny's appearing on TV, the chop would definitely be totally inappropriate. So let's see. It's Savior.
Nice.
Okay, an 8. On a hit, they choose one. Well, I think in this case it would be do what you say is really the only appropriate one.
Well, I'm sorry, what was the last part?
If you read the list of items, narratively, doing what I want them to do is sort of the way that they can.
Yeah, do what you say. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Yeah, so you just see this whole. Yeah, you see the Jumbotron crowd growing, and these fists go up, in this salute area. It's almost like have you guys seen that video of like the aerial view of the Shaolin demonstration where it looks like they're getting together and they're doing all these symmetric shapes as they're doing their movements. You see like an overhead from the helicopter view, like the fists go up like as one, and it's like you can see the Jumbotron, like its sound system actually crackles a little bit to try to handle the noise. Properly transferred over. All right, who's next?
I'll go. I I also want to use Savior.
Nice.
Because I'm very unoriginal.
You're doing great.
But let's see. He's actually going to give Wraith back whatever vitality he drained. And then
Who do you say to accompany it?
that's what I'm thinking. It's let's see.
No pressure. Just a lot of pressure, though.
Yeah, no pressure, just a lot of pressure. Like we got this. This is you need all your strength. I'll get what I need from him.
Nice. All right, make a roll. Full hit.
Very nice.
Boom.
So the Jumbotron, you guys look up to that, and you actually see this. It's actually zoomed in, like right in the front center, like right by, literally right next to Grandma and the aunties. This like black hole comes into place, and in this place you see Captain Midnight in full regalia, sight that the city hasn't seen in probably a decade. And he crosses his arms like in reaction to almost mirror Father Apollo. And he's like, "You can't stop these kids, Captain Apollo. They've got your number. Be ready for the end. It's coming." And like you can, there is almost a chop, but people stop it. It's almost a calamity, but not. All right, that leaves Molly, I think. If Molly is there, you're not eating. You got this, buddy.
To be doing freak.
Nice. Ooh, what is your action? What are you doing? Ooh. Good hit. What are you doing?
Just shooting off little lightning bolts, shooting off little fire streamers, making
Oh,
the
nice.
ground quake.
Nice. Basically showing off your abilities as you've finally, they come together in this culmination of all the elements and everything, reality, almost reality, pretty much. Yeah. So stuff's shaking the ground and whatnot, and you guys all look across to Father Apollo, and his glow is now down to a little. It's like an aura right now. And on the Jumbotron, you see something that even the people of Halcyon City don't see all that often. You see suddenly people, they're right in like the sky overhead. There's a vehicle that comes in, this huge vehicle, and on top of it, there's like the team that uses this vehicle. You have like the various city heroes. Their entire teams are kind of converging on the front of this thing and standing there and just forming this cordon around this entire half circle on their side, on your side. And it's like this again. Must be every hero that presently serves in Halcyon City is now over there, and the place now looks almost like like uh, a Woodstock type concert. There's too many people out over there to fit on the Jumbotron at once. And now Father Apollo is cracked. He's open to attack. He is vulnerable. So do what you will. What do you do? And then one more slight caveat, because there are one, two, three moments of truth. If you go first, try not to eat it up for everybody else.
I would say that we turn to Mali and be like, have fun.
Awesome. Molly, you've never felt so free in your whole entire existence. What do you do? Nothing. I cannot hear him.
So what exactly can I do that won't go too far?
Anything you like. I think that just, maybe don't defeat him completely, but, just do whatever it is you like. This is now you get to take this narrative if you're using your moment of truth.
Molly
tell us
goes
what
into
this
his
looks like.
moment of truth. He learns that his alien powers come from another planet. He has the avatar of a natural spirit inside of him from another planet who controlled the nature there. He's been trying to do it here, and it's just now learning about it. So that's sort of his moment of truth. He realizes that he can tap into all the energy and power in the area. He shoots off a huge aura. He uses all of his power to grab hold of Apollo, throw him at least 5 miles up into the air, and slam him into the ground as hard as I can.
Wow.
While removing every single ounce of light from him.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
Holy crap. That's amazing. Yeah, so probably when he does smack down, the Jumbotron being the Jumbotron, captures that little stop catch moment right before he slams to the ground, and you actually see the look of what the on his face, and hits the ground, and like you get that shock wave where it looks like basically it's like the opening circle of reverberation as it's dust is flying up in the air. If this was just another day at the landfill, the guy who coordinates all this would be very upset with whoever did that because there's a lot to clean up. All right, who's next?
So do we each tenderize him and then let Nyx finish him? Narrative.
Ooh, that's up to
Yeah,
you.
go for it. Go for it, Wraith.
This is your narrative, so take it.
So I will use mine. So on the inside of this dome that we have, like all over the inside, not just around the edge, but up as well. Portals start opening up. As Wraith, sort of, opens his arms and little tendrils start going out to all these portals, and each portal just starts opening up. And then, if you remember those sort of pterodactyl bird creatures that we saw previously,
Oh,
one of the portals came up.
The nightmare creatures.
They all start coming out and sort of like just like descend upon Father Apollo, from which you can hear, screams. They sound pretty much like his screams, as well as appropriate, yes. And that seems to last for entirely too long, before they just sort of dissolve around them, as the portal starts winking out.
All right, Nick's take it.
Okay, so I'm going to walk very slowly up to Father Apollo the whole time talking. Old man, are you going to be defeated by a bunch of kids? I think the answer is yes. Is your cult, cult, going to fall? Most likely. Is one of your children going to take you down? Definitely. And she kind of picks him up by like the scruff of the neck if he's, I'm assuming, still on the ground.
Oh god, yeah.
And
There's no way.
Punches him in the face as hard as he can. You can actually feel like the reverberation from the punch and like the shockwave all around us, dust moving everywhere. He stands tall because, obviously he's still pretty powerful. And I just punch him in the gut and takes him down to the ground. And then turn around and be like to his group at this time and say, is this your leader? Is this our father? A broken man? An empty shell of who he was? Not even at this point a super villain, just a regular bad person.
Yeah, I will interrupt only just to say you definitely see the look in their eyes, this like as if like you're a magician, showing them the trick. This their faces drop, their eyes drop to the ground. Please continue.
Okay. So I take him and I have him, kind of like up on my arm. You see he's facing them, and this person has done so much bad in the world. I don't think that anybody would fault me if I just killed him right here. I just look around. I don't think anybody could actually stop me at this point either. And I looked and I kind of whispered to him, even you.
Ooh.
And I just kind of slowly have my hand around his head and hold him there for a little bit just so they could see the fear and anxiety in his eyes, and then just slam his head on the ground, and hopefully he passes out from that.
Okay. Is he dead?
No, I don't want to kill him. I want him to pass out.
All right, cool. Anything else? Or are you good?
I want to see if Mali can do the same thing he did to Hermes to him.
Oh, damn.
And I just start piling stuff on top of him. And I'm like, okay, if I want to turn to everybody, is if we want him to live, if we feel that he deserves it, then let us know if he deserves to live or if he needs to atone for his crimes.
Oh, and you're asking like the people?
Everybody.
Oh, wow. What is it? What is that? People are smart. Crowds are dumb. So I just want to pipe in. So as you ask that, you are filled with this feeling of power, and there's this again. We kind of established your powers are of a cosmic-ish nature.
Yeah.
The things that hold together the universe. In this moment that you beat your father, you've smashed him. You see, it's like one of those quick montages of the past that flashes through your mind, and in this instant, you realize there's a reason Father Apollo put down his daughters. It's because if they had the followers, the females would be far more powerful than the males, and you can allow that. And there's this voice that whispers to you, you have all this love and adoration. You could be a goddess. You could rule them all.
And that would clearly play into my moment of truth. I dismiss it as best as I can. And basically just wait for an answer. Jury by popular vote, basically.
Oh wow, that's a tough one.
I think that falls under no hero would approve of it.
Oh yeah, that'll trigger your move if you
Basically
want
a
it.
gladiator on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah. What is that?
Leech?
Let me pull it out here.
Yeah, Leech. Do you want to? Are you can trigger that when you call in justice a hero is just perpetrated.
Yeah.
If you want.
What the hell, hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will actually. He walks up to Nyx and says, "There's no reason to do that. A wise man once said, people are smart, crowds are stupid." No. It's not worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. You would be committing a crime and when we're supposed to be here doing good.
Killing him would do good.
He's already subdued. He's unconscious. He is not a danger. If you kill him, it will be murder.
She mulls it over.
All right.
Is
In the
that
meantime,
what the
roll plus
people
danger.
want?
It doesn't matter what the people want.
Are we not
It's what's right.
entertaining?
Who's rolling plus danger?
Leech, roll plus danger to trigger your move.
Oh,
Oh crap.
oh dear.
On a miss, they dismiss you. Mark a condition of their choice. Shift danger up and savior down.
Insecure, I guess. I don't know what you have already marked.
Just a second.
You already have insecure. I would assume afraid or hopeless. Let's go afraid. You are afraid I am going to kill this person.
Afraid. Okay. I cannot shift savior. Savior is locked. So what should I do instead?
Take a condition.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I am angry with you right now.
It's fair.
Awesome.
I didn't really have full intent to kill this person, but I wanted people to think I would.
That you're
Specific-
capable of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, granted, if something were to happen that may cause him to escape his prison, would do it. I'd take whatever he is wrapped in, I'm assuming a bunch of metal, and just fold it into himself.
Okay, so basically you're pressing him in metal as you wrench it around him, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah, so yeah, he's subdued. He is utterly at your mercy. He's looking up and he knows that you know what you just saw in that cosmic glimpse that you are potentially far more powerful than him if you were to work the whole, follower thing. He sees that you know why he got rid of all his daughters. He sees that you see his failure.
I allow the bubble to go down.
Cool. Yeah, it dissipates immediately. He was basically the one holding it up anyway, so it was on the verge anyway. Yeah, your bit of willpower definitely pushes it.
Tell the rest of his people, the children of the light are no more.
Yeah, from the opposite side, from behind you hear nothing but cheers. Like, yeah! The Jumbotron, you can just see, Captain Midnight. One of the reporters goes up to him and he says, "These aren't kids anymore. They're heroes." And it's just pandemonium at this point. As the thing drops, you see like that whole core of like super apprehender police come in, as we've seen before. Always after the fact because they stay out of it's Halcyon City. I'm looking for protocol to basically stay out of the way of the fight, but to tend to things afterwards. So these guys come in and they kind of see that he's already secured, but that you can see him like clamp on a couple other things, kind of like which you guys would recognize as like power dampeners. You've seen him before. Basically, they're reducing him to normal as best as technology can, and the crowd rushes in, and there's this.
I imagine we're all four side by side.
Yep, all four side by side, and the Father Paulo's getting kind of carted away, and as he actually they actually do it in front of you, as you go by, and his gaze hits each of you in turn, and it's just like he's just like Dick said, he's just a guy. There's no
I want to.
aurora anymore. There's no nothing.
I'd want to stop them and then bring Athena over so she can see into his eyes too.
Yeah, she'll be like in the first group that gets close enough to you guys, and she kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. She's like, "I felt it. I know."
Awesome.
And she kind of smiles at you, gives you a wink, and then she shrugs off one of her many civilian identities, and she now has an altered version of Children of the Light type of thing, and it's like there's this light behind the darkness, like this light, almost like this sun silhouetted behind the moon, eclipse type of thing, and just it hits you. It's like, yeah, there is Father Apollo was the darkness in essence, and there is light after. With that, she kind of winks at you, flies away immediately. She's gone. Much to the surprise of everyone around, up till a few seconds ago, she was like a gas station attendant outfit, everything.
Anybody in Halcyon City can be a superhero.
Yeah, it's like, really? You too? Mom? But yeah. So you guys they do the whole thing. They, carry you overhead off the field if you allow them. And we'll cut the scene there. And I was figuring we'd do I'm not sure if you want to do it with the crowd or on your own, but let's do our final triumphant celebration. We haven't done one in a while.
Cool.
And if anything warrants that, it's this.
Probably, I would assume all of us would want to be away from the crowd. I mean, as much as a jolt that I got from it, I would probably still want to be away from all the crowd.
Okay. We should be fine with that.
Yeah, I like the idea of returning to our roots, so to speak.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Because this is the last session, don't worry about switching labels or anything like that. But let's just roleplay this game. You've worked an entire campaign worth of heroing to earn this. So this is your scene. You're back at your Pinkberry, fully stocked again, and with a couple more flavor fountains, right next to it.
Who keeps on doing this? I mean, I thought it was Leech, but he's been with us the whole time.
No, and I went through the entire container of Reese's peanut butter cups, so there's no way they should be refilled, and they're fresh.
I mean, I ate all the sprinkles. Huh. I think we have a mole. Somebody is knows.
A mole. This is what you're
knows. Yeah, they know where our secret place is.
I mean, I guess we should have cameras, but
do you want hammers around a super hideout? I'm not sure.
Exactly. No, you don't. That's why we don't know.
I mean, analog cameras would be okay. I think
like a tripwire on a Polaroid.
I think my foster father has, an old analog camera, that's not going to be digital by any means, and VHSs, whatever those are.
All right, so you guys all have your serving of Pinkberry. You've taken on the big guy. There's whole life ahead of you guys. You have Wraith. You've survived as a member of the legacy of their legacy. You get to choose. There are others who are going to present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are others who are going to present with the ability to be the next potential member of the legacy, but you get to choose. So that's going to be a big one. Whereas Katie's been a hero worshiper literally since forever. So Wraith has a lot to think about. You know, Leech is free of this halfway house program. This former villain program where they were the authorities were keeping eye on him, keeping track on him. It occurs to Leech that like as he's wearing his uniform, there, as we talked about, there used to be like there was a tracker so they could know where you
Right.
were built into it. You've noticed that there, whereas in the suit, there was always you didn't notice it until it's gone, but there was a hum. There's this little hum as like the power would go through that circuit and do its thing, and it's just the hum is just not there anymore. This is a whole new stage of your life. You have a place to live. The future is bright. You're not
I don't
just a
have
reformed.
migraines anymore. It's great.
Yeah, he's not just a reformed. He is reformed. Mali, it's still questionable as to controlling the power, but now that he knows that you know he can let it out sometimes. He can do his thing. He can make the world what he needs it to be far more safely right now since his moment of truth. He gets it. There's like this little bit of insight that he didn't have before, this touching of the the consciousness of the universe, and he kind of sees it now, where it's like before it was kind of a mystery, like how do I use my powers, what can I do, how do I do that, and now it's just like you got that's just that moment of oneness with reality, and you get it a bit now. There's You don't necessarily have to be that nuclear reactor that could blow it any second. You get it. And Nyx, the greatest threat to your existence is gone. Father Apollo is no more. He's going to be put away in a super max for the rest of eternity. They might even put him in a different dimension at this point. That that type of thing. But he's just not coming back. You're again, it's one moment of truth is pretty good. Three of them simultaneously taking down a big bad. Yeah, that guy's never coming back. He's in an other dimensional holding facility at this point forever. Um, yeah, so here we are at the Pinkberry you guys started out at. Your little, your hideout, your safe place away from everybody but the team. Where you form the team, and it's kind of going back to roots. You just you're eating that froyo just like day one. More things change, the more they stay the same. And
Say
here you
we're
are.
simple people with simple rewards.
Yes. Someone may have gotten a pizza on the way. Probably.
Of course.
Yeah. Odds are somebody's parents gave them spending money on this of all days.
That'd be helpful.
All right. So let's see here. So that went faster than I expected.
Well, all of us unlocking the moment of truth, seemed to help.
Yeah, that definitely does the trick.
For sure, yeah.
So let's do this. Let's do like an epilogue. Again, this is we finished the campaign. This is gone. This is done. We're not going back. Let's do an epilogue. 5 years later, type of thing. Or like why don't you give me a story? Where are you at? What happened? Each in turn. I'm kind of curious. This is your 5-year plan, if you will. So, but this is like 5 years. You get the little thing on the screen. 5 years later. So, who wants to start with that one? I'm just kind of curious as to where I would think that you guys have imagined like your characters growing up or doing whatnot. Where are they when 5 years pass? Are you guys still together?
I don't know. I like to think that I probably so Nyx would have probably tried to find any other sisters that may have escaped Father Apollo's wrath. Helping out where she can along the way. It was probably at this point like just searching. Not really sticking to one place too long, following up on leads, stuff like that. keeping in touch with everybody, but and if need be, coming back to face any kind of huge threats. Halcyon City is my home after all, and I want to make sure it stays protected. But trying to find anybody else who was hurt by Father Apollo's wrath.
Very cool. All right. How about Wraith?
Obviously, Wraith is graduate high school. He's actually, a few years into college, but you see him showing up for Katie's graduation,
Hmm.
and she's a member of Legion of the Night.
You did choose her,
and she in turn chose what was that one kid, Shadowcaster, when Captain Midnight died, because he was up there in years. So now the entire Legion of Night is skewed much younger, and we're all currently active. So I think we often go around together, fighting villains, as the Legion.
Gotcha. So wow, so Wraith is the elder. Wow, did not see that coming, did we? Awesome, that's very cool.
It just happened that without Captain Midnight and then Night Stalker,
They kind of needed a leader to push them through. Are you still? Is there still a Violet Vanguard?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I was just sitting here thinking that Leech would have gone off to college, and fairly shortly after that, and then so he would be working on his undergraduate as well, with plans to work on the master's.
What does he want to be when he grows up? What's his study now that he's after all this happened?
He's majoring in biochemistry.
Nice.
Still trying to kind of figure out where this power came from, type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. So does he do heroing at this point? 5 years later?
He does. He keeps a low profile. He doesn't do it as Leech of the Violet Vanguard anymore. In a new city, he adopted a different identity. He's the I don't know.
You brought that on yourself.
It's good to have fresh starts. Yes, absolutely, you did. Now we can't go on until we know your new name.
I'm just gonna go for the obvious here. Vitality.
Nice, very cool. Vitality strikes. Awesome. Cool. How about Mali? Is Josh, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. So where's Mali in 5 years? What's going on?
Molly went off to college for a degree in ecological conservatism. Ecologically, it's like an ecological conservative science.
Cool. Prevent global warming type of thing. Gotcha. Cool.
It's actually to help mend nature after supers destroy it.
Oh wow.
Nice.
That's cool. Does Mali still super or hero or whatever we want to call the verb?
Yeah, but he's rarely in Halcyon City anymore. He's across the world now in like South America and all the other places.
So does he do his work as Molly the super, just so that he's not, so he doesn't have to try to have because it would look awfully weird if Jonas and Molly show up in the same city all the time, if you were doing your business as Jonas.
Yeah, is it a public identity now?
Actually, he just goes by Molly now.
Wow.
He came out as Molly just a few years. Yeah,
very cool. What about
cool.
Grandma? Is Grandma missing you?
Yeah, I still see her on a regular basis because I can fly there.
to her eternal thanks. Cool. So yeah, so you destroyed the big bad. You've grown together as a team when you needed to be. And, that was what each of you kind of needed to take it to the next level, to make your own lives. We got Nyx, we got, Wraith, we got Mali, we got Vitality, all doing their own thing. And, is there ever like a reunion? Does the VV ever do like a get together? Meet you at South America at this pub?
I think there should be. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be
We have
nice.
to keep in touch.
Yeah.
We still all have.
There's pink berries everywhere.
That's right. Vitality still has Purple Rain on his ringtone for each of you. So
I think that's for Leech now, or for Wraith now. Whatever I
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, and I'm
Leech of the Night.
zipping around everywhere, so I think I would have it as well. I would probably still wear the same super outfit. No, I'd even keep the same colors. So everybody knows who I am now. It's kind of hard to stop it.
Yeah, you're not just you're Hannah Montana and not just Miley Cyrus, and they know it, and that's okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's all right. Awesome. Well, cool, guys. So that's it. You've done it. You've completed the campaign.
hooray!
Yes. As I was telling, I think Steve before, you are free of me. Free. But no, seriously, it was cool. It's like I said, you guys kind of it was a great story. You started out as like individuals, as just timidly trying to explore your powers. You slow but sure kind of worked it up to where you're getting a hang of it. This whole heroing thing. You faced dangers. You helped people. You defended people. You came to this point where like you had to come together with a big bad, and you solidified your whole thing as heroes. You understand your powers better. You're fine tuning that. You're at that point you're crossing over into that being the adult hero, where if we had continued this, you'd get adult moves and stuff like that eventually if you took those as advances. Where it's just more like your powers are now fine tuned type of level, and that's where you guys could get into it. And again, it all started with this group of 4 kids in a abandoned Pinkberry, not really questioning how the Pinkberry mix always got in there and the jimmies were always full, but chilling out and kind of being together. And again, it's like any other kids growing up. I know we all had that. We all had a little kid get together hideout or whatever. The gathering point. Where you just be kids together. Not it's you against the world. I hope that you guys experienced that in the 10 plus episodes, 10 plus 0 episode that we did this.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Cool. So so I mean, anything you guys want to share or say, or anything you're thinking? We have some time. We don't have to go another hour or anything. But this is because, like I said, you guys are awesome, and I just want to not cut this short, and I want to give you guys your opportunity to, say what you want, share what you want, that kind of thing. If you don't, that's fine too.
Well, I liked the game. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and I think who was this the very first time playing a Powered by the Apocalypse game?
It was me, for sure.
Me.
Yeah, so three of the 4 of you is his very first time. So, and I think Leech, you and I think you specifically mentioned like this is a totally different paradigm in gaming where like it's not just roll your skill and if you make it you do it type of thing. This is a whole play to find out what happens next. It's like build a situation around that. The roll is not the big be all and end all of this thing.
Right. Yeah.
So the moves are pretty awesome.
Yeah. I wish I would have gotten a little bit more advances.
You have to fail more. You have to fail to learn.
That just means that Nyx was already really good. She didn't need to advance much more.
When you're at a 10.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. I could see probably playing every single one of these characters over again.
Yeah, and when I played my first time, actually played with Steve, and I was a Janus. My thing was I focused on having the alternate identity. That was my big focus for my character. And it was just so cool because like when I originally pitched the idea to Lloyd, who was running the game, he's like, okay, well, just so you know, everything you described, you could also be a Nova with this. You could be you know, a legacy with this. You know, it's a matter of what you want to explore. These, you know, you don't just, you know, it's a matter of picking two things: pick what you want to explore and what you want your abilities to be. And somewhere out there is a playbook that matches those things up for you. So if you're going to play it again, just kind of keep that in mind. And I hope you guys do play again. You know, and run it or play as characters because you're awesome. You know, each of you it brought something kind of really cool to the table. Like, you know, Steve is the Power by the Apocalypse veteran. He's played more Power by the Apocalypse games more times than I played all the games ever put together. So it was always cool to have kind of Steve
Most of my
reminding
games
me
are
of things.
powered by the Apocalypse games.
Yeah. But, but yeah, I mean, it's like again, it's like it was always good to have him there, and you know, I think you already had. I have a sneaking suspicion that Wraith was a character you've been thinking of playing for a bit.
Yeah, I'd never actually played a shadow character, so um, I think closest I got is I played, an Ice Nova before, and that was fun. But I wanted, I've always liked the shadow powers, so
Very
it's
cool.
kind of
And
cool to, see.
Cool.
And again, it was like, at least with at least the way I go through the archetypes is I, say like, okay, what kind of powers do I want? And then I find which archetypes, support something close. And that's how I ended up with Legacy, and that normally would not been what I would have chosen.
very cool. Well, I'm glad you played something different and something you were looking forward to doing. Yeah, Billy Joe, you really impressed me. I have to say, with like playing the Reformed, you get. I think of all the characters, you know, I think you got the playbook. You know, he's trying to do the right thing. You know, and you kind of played that the whole time. I enjoyed how like you were very aware of how the police were watching you and how you brought that to mind. Oh, you know, I'm required by law to be here to report and fill out the thing. You know, again, that's awesome. You know, you kind of got that. Yes, you're being watched type of thing. And you know, I enjoyed seeing how I think of all the characters, Leech was kind of where he already needed to be. He was already like he already made the decision not to be a villain anymore, you know, and that was
Yeah, that's
so
true.
there was no journey in that sense because you're already there. You already made the decision. You know, you're a hero. You don't want to do that whole villain crap anymore. So there was no
Yeah.
growth there because you'd already done it, and it was kind of cool how that just carried on. So I very much enjoyed that. Um, Josh, I mean, and then I have to say you're another one that got the playbook. You know, the Nova is this unstable bomb of energy that can go off and destroy shit at any freaking moment. And you really played that up big time. You know, I could see you as a
Just Captain
player.
Marvel.
Yeah, I could like, see you as a player just agonizing over this. It's like I can't be around people I love. I might freaking explode and literally kill and vaporize them all. You know how and this is especially I think you got that teen angle too, where it's like, you know, oh, my life is over even before it's ever started because I can't be with people. I gotta be away from them or I'm gonna hurt them. You know, my instinct is not to hurt them. So the only way to be sure of that is to not be near them. And I could see how Mali was just agonized by that all along. You know, maybe he learned to be an introvert or a a loner because of that. But this is very cool. I enjoyed how you played that. And then
Thank you.
of course, yeah. What's right?
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, I mean, so happy. But and Adam, no, seriously, it was awesome. This is a perfect crew. So Adam, my compliment to you is basically it's like, you know, I think you started out a little dark. I kind of tried to put you a little lighter on the trail, but you started a little dark. But the darkness really worked for you. You know, you played that character that's like, you know, you're the daughter of a a cosmically powered cult leader, and it was just kind of cool how you kind of played that up. Like, it's like you had this responsibility. You kind of I think you kind of built that into your character. This whole responsibility of doing something with that power. So I like that a lot. And like I said, you kind of I think you brought a lot of humor to the game too. So awesome. And yeah, Billy and Josh, I want to thank you so much for joining me from Jovian Blue. I haven't looked at in a while. I'm a dickweed. Julian Blue Games. Sorry, that makes me a dickhead. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But is it okay if I share how I bumped into you guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Julian Blue Games, I originally basically was on Roll20. I answered a kind of a Players Wanted ad and got introduced to the whole Discord group over there to play Star Trek Adventures. And it's kind of like we've all been gamers for years now. There's always that trepidation when you get into a new group. It's like, are they gonna be cool? Are they gonna be boring? Are they gonna be jerks? Am I gonna be able to work with this? Am I gonna have to bow out after the first session because it's just not a fit? And none of that was a problem. It was so cool, uh, especially Josh and Billy kind of leading the group. Not kind of leading, actually leading the group. It was just so cool to kind of fit in and find a place there, and they welcomed me, and I'm always so thankful for that. And I'm going to be coming back to another game of theirs soon. I just kind of branched off here to kind of try my own thing, and I do appreciate them taking time away from their own stuff to kind of experience this new game and support me, which is really cool. I appreciate that so much.
It was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Steve, I'm sorry, go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. But Steve, I've known him for several years now. I basically met him on the Google Plus boards. We talked about Cortex Plus there, the leverage and Firefly, etc. And
I basically conned him into running a Dune game.
Yes, exactly. So that
It's
lasted
like, I have this
2
great
years.
idea for a Dune game. Yes, you should do that. I will
Call
play.
me when you do.
Mhm.
And I did, and he foolishly joined. That was 2 years of campaigning. A little off time there, but pretty decently solid, I think. That's pretty awesome. And again, he's kind of been my guide into the Powered by the Apocalypse world. So I so much appreciate that too. And we're going to game again. We're all going to game again. And I even hope to see Adam. No, this is actually my first time playing with Adam. I think we brought that up before. But
Correct.
yeah, so I'm like, when I originally got the idea to do this game, and I kind of put it towards Billy and Josh. I'm like, hey, well, with the two of you, that makes 3. And they're like, hey, we got this guy. I'm like, oh, I was hoping for 3, but sure, yeah, bring him on. It's like, there's that moment of like, I've never interacted with him before. Is he cool? Is he scary? Is he going to freak me out? And no, he was awesome. So
The answer is yes to all of those.
yes to all those. No, but it was just it was cool. It was, again, I have the luck of the mighty gamer gods with me with this whole thing, and and again, Adam comes aboard and he's awesome, and you guys all brought your own flavor to the table, which was so much appreciated. So that's it. Like I said, unless you guys have something else, we'll call this end of session 10. But I just want to
Very cool. Thank you all.
Yep, had a good time.
Yeah, let's keep in
Yeah,
touch.
me too.
Everybody's on my Discord. So keep in touch. If you I'm sure Steve is going to get itchy for a game sooner or later. And maybe he likes Star Trek. I have no idea actually, but we'll see.
I am interested in Star Trek Adventures, but I've never played it.
Ooh.
It's
Ooh.
actually really easy. It's not that much heavier mechanically. It's more mechanical than.
I have this
And
Discord channel you have to check
Definitely.
out.
The gentleman we were referencing, Lloyd, who ran games for us, works for Modifius.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I actually
Pretty
saw
cool.
him on a stream for John Carter. The Modifius actually ran the stream for.
Yeah, they just released their John Carter game.
Yeah. So he was on their stream playing it, and I'm like, Lloyd. So awesome.
Nice.
Nicest guy in the whole wide universe. Awesome game master, MC, whatever. Anyway, so I don't want to hold up you guys, but I just want to thank you so much for participating, and all you guys, you're awesome. And this is all these are on, if you didn't realize it, they're on YouTube. So the whole world can see them, and that's a good thing. One of the reasons I do this on the channel is because I really love the actual plays. It helps me learn how to play games. So I want to kind of pay that forward. That's kind of part of what I'm doing with the channel. So yeah, that's like it's tagged part of the apocalypse, masks, etc. So other people can kind of benefit from your experience. So that too is awesome. So anyway, let's do one last goodbye here. We'll start with Adam playing as Nyx, the Skyhound.
Goodbye, everybody.
We got
Until
Josh.
next time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Josh playing as Molly, the Nova.
Goodbye, everybody.
We have Billy Joe playing as Leech the Reformed.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night.
And last but not least, we have Steve playing as Wraith the Legacy. We'll see all of you again. Until then, I'm Scott of Scott's Case Files, and as usual, if you want to follow me on this channel, go ahead and click in the upper right for you to follow. Also, choose to be alerted when I go live, and you see my schedule, Discord, Twitch, all that stuff down below. Definitely check that out, and keep in touch. And in the meantime, also, last thing I want to put out there, I'm of course trying to form up the next set of Thursdays and Sundays. I'm doing that. If you know anybody, send them my way. But I'm looking at a couple people right now, and just trying to figure out, just kind of getting the mechanics of how that'll work going on, including Dr. Oculari, who's probably my viewer tonight. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a good one, and thank you again so much. And you'll see me again on Scott's Case Files soon. And these guys all over the place. Definitely check them out. Bye for now.
Bye.